Today I have with me Cassandra Price with KP Productions. I'm going to let her formally introduce herself to you guys and how you got started in filmmaking.
Yeah, hey guys. Thank you for the introduction. So a little bit about me is I am a director, writer, producer, actor, and I've been in the film business for a little over 8 years, and I've directed over 10 shorts, and then I'm on my second feature. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Um, I do aerospace design engineering by profession. I do film like for passion. So I am excited. Anytime I get a chance to like mix like science and STEM into like filmmaking, I'm super excited. I'm all about that.
Love it.
So yeah, and then how I got into filmmaking. Let me think. I mean, I've been into film since I was young. Just watching TV, and then wanting to be in the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really kind of took off through writing, because my parents put me in a lot of different stuff. Like, I was in acting, but writing really stuck for me. And so I started writing screenplays before I even knew what
Nice.
screenplays were, what the format was. Like, I was just writing. And then, long story short, I got into learning more about behind the scenes. As I got older, got into college, I wanted to minor in film, but the way my degree was set up with engineering is like that wasn't going to happen without me spending extra years in school. So I was like, okay, never mind. But I had friends that were in the school of communications that did film, so I would help them out with their projects and learn. And then I just kept writing and was like, I'm going to start producing these scripts. I want to put myself in front of the camera and I have the script. So let's do it. Let me figure it out. So just kept doing research. And yeah, then I started producing my own stuff.
I love that. That's awesome. I
Thank you.
When I reached out to you, I know I was so excited because first of all, we don't get to see too many people that are women, doing
Yeah.
their film things. Sometimes they're mostly behind the scene or an actress. So I love that you can do all things. You have a full circle. And oh, by the way, I saw her, I saw Cassandra on this Facebook group. It's called Black Filmmakers. So you guys check that out if you're into film because it's a great group for sure. Very supportive, and I get to find some really cool movies there that me and my mom we watch TV together. That's our bonding thing. So I don't watch TV at my house at all. So when I'm with her, that's the time that I watch TV. And so she's like, "What you saw on TV lately?" And I'm like, "Well, I only watch TV with you."
Yeah, yeah. So whatever I watch with you last, that's what I
So
saw.
nothing.
Yeah.
But I'll share like things that I see from the group, and I'll tell her to watch it, if it's something that I feel like she could watch, her own time because she watched TV a lot more than I do, then and then we watch things together. So we are looking forward to watching what we're going to talk about yours today. We look forward to watching that soon.
Yay. And shout out to Facebook. Facebook is coming
Yes.
clutch with the groups. I
Okay.
like appreciate that.
Yes, for sure. So, what was your first project that you ever worked on, and what did it teach you?
Ooh. You know what? I did like a couple, a little projects here and there, like as I was learning stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but I would say that my very first one where I was like, okay, this is the script, and I had to get actors that weren't my friends,
Hmm.
to like be in the film and like something structured was it was called Rent a Friend, and I did it while I was in undergrad at
Okay.
Howard. And it was a really cool experience. I did the cinematography for it, so I wrote the script, directed, and did the cinematography. And I honestly didn't really know a lot about the structure, the producing part, but when you're in college, you have access to resources, you
Right.
have a theater school, people want to just, they want to work. So yeah, I had some really great talent to come out and work with me. And yeah, and I just shot it like on campus and like around the school area.
Yeah.
And it was a short, and it came out really well actually. So that was like my first one.
Awesome. So I want you to elaborate a little bit on the rent a friend thing. So, because I saw rent a friend like online where you like people basically pay to talk to somebody. So, is that the same thing or is it totally different? Or is that like an on-campus situation?
It's similar.
Mm-hmm.
So the synopsis of the movie, the short was basically this girl wanted to go out to like a party, and
Mm-hmm.
she was trying to find, call up some of her friends to go with her, but they were all busy, and it was just like there was conflicts, and so it was like a whole thing. So she had saw this like site where you can just like call like 1-800 rent a friend, and you can just
Mm-hmm.
like basically rent somebody, kind of like an escort, but without all that other extra stuff. It's like very platonic. And if you just want to go somewhere and you want to go with somebody and you just want to like vibe out, you can just like call up and rent somebody. And so that was like basically the purpose of the synopsis of the film.
Right.
And then it turned out like the person she ended up meeting someone who she thought was like who she called and ordered from the Rent a Friends like service.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out to be like someone completely different. And it was just like kind of like a natural, like another friend that she made, and so that was like the
Oh,
the purpose of it. Or yeah.
that sounds so cute, adorable. I love that. So, and that's somewhere where we could find, right?
Yes, that is on my site, and then it's on my YouTube page.
Okay, so on your site and YouTube page, and I will make sure I link that so me and my mom can watch it, number one. And then if anyone
Okay.
else is interested, they can find it. All
No, I
right.
appreciate it. That was my
Yeah.
very like first one though, so like there's a lot of things like you're like, oh, okay, and she has learned
Well,
from
we can
then.
see the growth then, so that's okay. We love that. So, what was a moment that you said, "Yeah, I'm a filmmaker"? Like, what was your little this mine right here?
You know what? It's so interesting. I honestly feel like it was as I was doing like my first feature,
Hmm.
because I didn't really know, like, I'm still like learning because now we went from short to feature. It's a whole different ball game. So I'm still
Right.
learning. But as I was trying to hire crew, um, they if it was like a crew member that, they had like a conflicting time with the date or something like that, they would always like, be like, hey, but I know somebody that, she's an actor or he's an actor and he's looking to get into, film. I would love to send you his information.
Hmm.
And I was like, wait, me? Like, you want to send me like your people's information? He was like, yeah. Just for like if this film or another film that doesn't work, but yeah, I want you like to get connected. And so I feel like when they said that, it's almost like I became like a resource
Yeah.
for them, and I feel like that made me feel like, oh, like I guess I really am kind of like a filmmaker for real.
There we
So
go.
that's kind of when it like stuck for me.
Yeah, great. I love that feeling for sure when you can become a resource for other people. And I'm like, oh, you thought about
No, I was like, you want him in my film?
me?
Oh, okay,
Right.
I get it. So,
Hmm. It's
yeah.
amazing. It's an amazing feeling for sure. So let's talk about success though. So usually I have a co-host, his name is Jamez, and he goes around to some influential people and sometimes he does straight podcasting too. And he asked this one question, which is what does success mean to you? And so usually I don't ask this question because I usually talk to people that do music. And so I'm trying to get beyond the music world and tap into other people as well. So, what does success mean to you personally?
Yeah. First of all, I love that you're like going beyond music and coming into the filmmaker side. Like, come on over here.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I love that. But success, whew. It's so funny because I think if you would have asked me like 5 years ago, I would have had a completely different answer for you.
Hmm.
Because I used to like success to me was like, what's next on a goal? Like I have these goals and I'm accomplishing them, and they're all in some way, shape, or form, like going up the ladder in my career.
Right.
And it don't even matter what career we are talking about. Like, if this is the societal standard to like what's next on the ladder in this situation, then if I'm getting there, then success. Like I'm crossing off that list, and I'm constantly um, like I would say constantly achieving these goals that I set for myself, and I was
Hmm.
constantly like getting opportunities to do certain things. And so to me, that was success. Now I realized that success is more of like happiness, and it's
Hmm.
more of being aligned in with your purpose. So not just you're going up a ladder in any like career, any shape or form, but you're moving up in something that you're aligned to, that's in alignment with your purpose and your
Right.
value. And so that to me is what success is. And also happiness, because what I often see is I will see people who are very like successful in the essence of, they're at the top of the ladder in this career that they have, right? But
Yeah.
then they could be
Very
so
sad.
like unhappy, or feel like unfulfilled, or like you're checking off the boxes, like on paper you look great. So
Hmm.
why is everything not aligning? Like, why would you not be happy about this? Or,
Mm.
you're putting in so much effort and giving yourself to your work, and you feel like you're doing a good job, but for some reason you're not like fulfilled, or it's not like satisfactory. And so I, over time, have learned a lot about that. And so success to me is basically being able to accomplish goals, but goals that are in alignment with your values. And it doesn't have to be career. It could be,
Hmm.
relationships. It could be friendship. Like you, in any aspect of your life that you want to improve or you want to grow in, as long as whatever you're doing is in alignment with that, I feel like that is success.
Yeah, that's great. So, with that being said, how do you balance your ambition with gratitude?
Yeah, honestly, I think gratitude really helps like with mind shifting. Um,
Hmm.
because when you can step back and just be grateful for the things that you have accomplished, or things that you have done, or where you at, which is, further from where you were, 2 years ago, it really helps you spend time focusing on the positive things, and it helps you feel more fulfilled in what you're doing.
Right.
Versus me, I had to learn that because I'm the type of person that is very much on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Did that,
Yeah.
on to the next. What are we doing? Let's keep going, let's keep going. Like, we got a lot of stuff to do, and then I'm like, dang it, like I'm like this getting here to this step is taking me so long. Like, what's going
Yeah.
on? Not realizing I'm so much further than where I was like 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Like, I'm exactly where I wanted to be 2 years ago, but I'm still looking like over here.
Ahead.
So
Yeah.
that like gratitude has really just kind of helped ground me in the
Right.
present.
Okay. I love that. Definitely. So, when it comes to being a woman in film, do you believe that success is measured differently?
Mm, oh, I feel like this is like the conversation that is like been going on since like the tell of time.
Yeah.
As women and men, like just in
The
any
back
lane,
and forth.
yeah, it's back and forth. And I feel like women are always in a position to have to like be 3 times as good and do
Right.
3 times better just to, for the like the male counterparts to be like, oh, okay, I guess you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do think in a way success can be measured differently for women than it can be for men. I feel like women, in order to be successful, you have to be like doing way more than
Mm-hmm.
what your male counterpart. Like if you put out, one like, or if your male counterpart put out one feature, you put out two, and and they both have to be good. Like you don't
Yeah.
let one not be good. If your male counterpart could put out one feature and maybe it's mediocre, but that's fine because we all know like the consensus is, oh, we'll get to the next, give him some more funding and see what he does next. But for women,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it could be kind of the sentiment of, mm, I know you did really great this one, but the second one, so we don't know, we don't trust. It's almost like they
Yeah.
have to work harder to gain the trust, the respect, and all this, especially in a male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
That you're already coming in kind of like having to play a little bit of defense, um,
Mm-hmm.
in any essence. So I do think that success can be measured much differently for women than it can be for men.
Yeah. So with that being said, I I have tapped into doing music videos, and so
Yeah.
I have always loved music videos. I love music, period, right? And
Yeah.
I knew that I wasn't confident into just jumping into making a film. So I was like, I already do content for social media. Like, what's the step above that? And so I was like, okay, music videos.
Music
So
videos.
a couple of people have asked me to do that, and I'll create a story and storyboard, do the same kind of things that I would do like if I'm making a short film or something like
Yeah.
that. Because I do work with a couple of film producers, and so I get to see like what they are doing as well and be a part of that process and saying, having some kind of say in creative direction when it comes to that. So I believe that it's all the same in a way, just a different little step. But even with that, even with music videos, it's kind of hard to compare yourself to the guys, because it's always a back and forth thing. It's like, oh, they're gonna pick the guy because he's been doing it longer, and I'm just being new, and people like me because of my personality, but maybe I'm just too friendly. So I'm like always trying to compare like myself and how to get over that hump of being just the girl that's doing music videos. So I get it. It's a weird little situation to be in.
Yeah, yes, it is. It definitely is. And to your point too, like, if you have the woman and the man, they're sitting next to each other and somebody just blindly wants to pick like someone to do their video, who are they gonna pick, right? Based off of
Hmm.
like really little to no knowledge. And yeah, I could see that how the men would probably get the like more of the spotlight in that essence. And so that's like, yes, that's part of it, right? Like by default, they're already like good, and then the woman has to basically like work to
We gotta
show
work.
you, look, I can, yes, I
I
can
could
do
do
this.
this too. Yeah,
Yeah, but I love the music video thing. That you're already a filmmaker. Like that is a music video is a short. Like a music
it
video is
is.
telling stories,
Hmm.
and but you're telling it through the with the medium of music, which is like amazing. So yes, no, you
Thank
are
you.
definitely a filmmaker doing music videos.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what I have on my wall. I am a filmmaker. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
so I think I've told you in your inbox, that's something that I definitely want to tap into one day. For sure. It's gonna take me a little minute, but I'm gonna get there. And
You're gonna
especially
get
when I
there,
when
yes.
I have someone like you to look up to and to inspire me now, I I look forward to the journey.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, what's one success that doesn't show up on your resume, but it means the world to you?
You know what? I think that is like like success that doesn't show up in my resume. I think
Hmm.
being able to have my like family, my mom, my dad come with me
Yeah.
to like my screenings, like when my film is premiering at a festival, being able to for them to be able to be able to fly out, have the ability to fly out and come and support me and help like pass out flyers and
Yeah.
help like basically they're basically part of my crew.
Hmm.
And so my mom's always telling me like, yeah, and so we need to get credit for what we're doing. Um, and
I
like, yeah,
love
she's
it.
like, she's serious about it. And having them, for them to be in positions where they're able to come help me with my film.
Yeah.
Because when I shot this, well, basically for each feature that I shot, they were able to fly out and like help me with a lot of different stuff. And that was very helpful because I was like, oh, I got it. And man, production day came and oh Lord. I was like, my dad would drive home after a long day of
Oh.
the production, and it would allow me to kind of like focus on trying to get the call sheet out to everybody while like we're on our way home. And he would like buy food at the end of the day so that I had something to eat, to get ready for the next day. And then like,
Hmm.
my mom would be like always like helping me with the cast and helping me, pick stuff out if I'm trying to find props. I'm running around trying to find props and get clothes and all these other things. My mom would kind of like help me, organize and do all that stuff. And yeah, so I think that is a big success for me.
Yeah.
And then even going to film festivals and networking, like my parents are able to come there with me at all times. Me and my mom, we just, we came from a film festival in Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
And that was really great to have somebody with me there because
I bet.
I don't know if you ever like try to get to Martha's Vineyard, but that was my first time, and we had to take the bus down, and we had to hop on a ferry, and we had to figure out how to get a car, and
Oh
like
my
it was
God.
like plane, boat, but like it was like so much.
Mm-mm.
So I would say that's something that's on my resume that I'm proud of.
Oh, yeah, I love that for you, for sure. I just you explaining that gave me anxiety. I am not good with the whole back and forth situations, especially not knowing where I'm going. I am terrible. Uh,
Literally,
Kudos
we
to
got the
you.
map and we like, and so we gotta do what? And this is sold out, and we gotta do what?
Oh,
Like
uh-uh.
it was a journey, definitely.
I could not, but I'm glad that you had somebody with you and you did not have to struggle doing that alone. Because I know
Yeah,
that could have been a mess. But
yes. So I
so
really I appreciate it.
kudos to mom and dad. They
And
always
yeah,
come
shout out
through.
mom and dad.
Yes. So, who do you consider as successful and why?
mm,
And it don't have to be anybody famous. It could be someone you know.
this is someone I know. I would have to say like my parents in general, I consider them to be successful.
Mm,
Because I feel like they do one, they're like the type of people that do what needs to get done and they always just figure it out. Like they always figure stuff out. Even when it feels like I like how you gonna figure this one out? Like
yeah,
they figure it out. And I would say I would definitely like, point to my mom in particular because I think one of the things that I find successful is that you are moving forward and being aligned with your values and you have happiness and joy.
right,
And because I've seen the other side where you are maybe like successful monetarily, but you are not like super happy or you're not like as fulfilled. And so I think with my mom, like she is always doing stuff, working that into. in a direction that's aligned with her values. And
Yeah.
she always like finds joy and happiness even in things that are like even when it's raining, like in the tough times, right? Like
Yeah.
I think she's cracked the code on how not to just like stress yourself out even when life can be stressful. So I feel
Mhm.
like I find that to be like a very successful, thing. So yeah, I would say my parents.
Awesome. Oh, good job, parents.
Shout out
That's
mom and
so
dad
beautiful.
again.
Yeah. Check mark, check mark.
Check mark, check mark. Yeah.
Yeah. We should have brought the parents on.
I know. And listen, my mom would have been all in the camera too. Like, yeah, she's like, hey girl, yeah. Like, yeah.
Yes, we need to come back afterwards and bring
Yeah.
mom and dad on one day. I love it. So, mom and dad are successful, which is beautiful. And so, how do you feel when you what do you feel like your success is measured when you finish the project or when somebody reacts to it? Um, Getting the feedback, or is it like just like I'm done. I'm okay. I don't care what nobody else have to say about it. This is me. I put it out there. I got it done. Or is it like, yeah, you did it? Like, which one makes you feel better?
I'm a little bit of like all of it because
Yeah.
I get to a point where especially with features, it takes so and because I edit them too, and that is the most tedious, time
Yes.
consuming, just it is one of the most grueling parts for me because like having a full-time job and then coming home to edit is like
My goodness.
it's so exhausting. So when I get it done, I'm like, this is the film.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I do try to get feedback here and there when I can to like, update stuff. And so I've been trying to incorporate that more. But ultimately, when it's done, this is the film. And I can't help you. Like either you gonna like it or you gonna love it. And at the end of the day, this is the film. So
Hmm.
like I'm not about to sweat and stress and be upset over nothing. I have edited it and then that's it. And so
I
I've
love
never
it.
been like that type of person. And then when I feel like it's done, is um I would say I do feel like when I'm done with it, I feel like, and I'm done, pencils down, great, on to the
Mm.
next thing. So
Yeah.
I do feel like that. But when I see people's reaction to it, I think that's when it kind of sinks in like, oh, like I did a thing, like I
Hmm.
actually did a thing. Otherwise, it's just more of like, I have the, like, because we talked about before, I have this goal.
Yeah.
This is, my goal is to finish this film, and I'm gonna finish this film.
Right.
And then when I finished it, check, we're done.
There we go.
And like that's it. And so when I see people like react, I'm like, okay, wow, like I think it brings me back to okay, like this film is really good. Like, I mean, I kind of like, I was like, I think it's good already, but after you spend so much time with it, it's kind of like it could be good, it don't gotta be good. It's like at this point, it's just gonna get done.
It's finished. Yeah.
Yeah, it's finished. So yeah.
I feel the same way because I'm one of those I like to just use my check marks. I gotta check the box out of everything. And sometimes I create just to say I've done it and then I'm on to the next thing. So I totally get that. And sometimes it is what it is situation. Like y'all
Mhm.
gonna get it or not. You're not gonna really understand my mistakes. I am. But at the same time, we just gotta release it. I don't know about you, but I have ADHD. So, so with that, baby, we have a brain that has 2,900 things going on at once. So if we can get through that day or get through that project, on to the next one, and whoever likes it, like it, whoever don't is okay. I've put it out there, and that's all I care about. And
Yep,
so
be like, wipe my hands of it, and we're done. Yep.
yeah, because a lot of people put so much pressure on themselves, and half of the time, the people that's watching it, we don't really care. You know, but then again, somebody like me, I'm very with like with working with producers now or whatever, I pay attention to a lot of things because I'm trying to learn. So me watching actual movies now is a headache because I'm trying to see, like, I wonder where were they standing when they shot this. I wonder why did they pick this color for the background because this person has on blue. Oh, it's something on the bookshelf that's blue. It's something like all the color grading things. Like, it's nerve-wracking now.
It's a lot. I call that the cinematic eye. Like my parents do that too. They're like, now, because we've been dealing with you, we can't watch movies the same. I said, because you have the cinematic eye. And that's
Yes.
what that is.
Yeah, so when it comes to my own stuff, I try not to be as anal about it. But when I'm watching something else, I'm just like, yeah, why would they do that transition? Like, so it's always
Yeah.
weird. But how do you celebrate your wins, whether they're big or small?
You know, I'm actually really bad at that. And I had a friend who, had to like basically sit me down and tell me like, listen, like you're gonna have to, do you not understand? Like this is a big deal that
There
with
you
like
go.
what you just did. And I was like, I mean, I guess like like it's because to me it's just a goal. And I'm like, this
Mm-hmm.
goal, like, and then we checked it and let's move forward. But I think now I try to definitely be more intentional about,
Mm-hmm.
doing something to celebrate, whether it's like I'm gonna go to one of my favorite restaurants.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invite some people over and we're gonna have like a little like celebration. Whether it's, oh, I'm gonna buy myself this new thing that I've been putting off and wanting to, but now, I'm gonna just, do it because I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
So, um, I would say I try to be intentional with like actually doing something to celebrate it so that I can put a little bit more value and behind the event and not just like kind of move forward. There was
Mm-hmm.
there was somebody who said to me that like you should always have like a bottle of wine in your fridge because there's always something to celebrate.
I love that.
Okay, like I didn't think about that, but okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
I like that. Give me an excuse to have some wine.
Give me that's right, exactly, yeah.
Everything is a celebration now.
Right, everything is celebration.
I brushed my
Shoot, I
teeth
woke up today. Let me
today.
toast. Like, let me toast to that.
Yes, I love that. I'm gonna use it. Gonna give me some wine tomorrow. All
Okay,
right.
okay.
So I want to talk about your film, Faded Memories.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we're here, basically. So I want you to tell us about it and what inspired the story. And like, is it some kind of things that are like truth in it, or is it just, you know, tell us about it.
Yeah, yeah. So Faded Memories, my newest baby. Like it's been, a few years I've been working on this one. Um, So basically, the synopsis is about it's a troubled teen who is going down a pretty like rough path with her life, and she gets assigned or she gets forced to volunteer at this nursing home by her mother as like a rehabilitation or like punishment of some sort. And so she gets assigned to one of the most difficult residents in the entire nursing home. This
Mm-mm.
this lady does not play.
She looked like
She
it.
is not taking no mess. She's not impressed. Like, and she's also, battling Alzheimer's. And then another thing about her is she's kind of mysterious in a way. There's not a lot of information about her past. There's not she never gets visitors, so it's like kind of like a little kind of mysterious thing too.
Hmm.
And so there's this comical aspect between the troubled teen and then the elderly woman as the troubled teen tries to figure out how to like care for her and like the back and forth and the butting heads and all that stuff. But through a supernatural twist of events, the teen is able to go into the elderly woman's past. And so she's able to see different moments in her past. Like we go into the 60s and the 70s. And in those moments, she's able to see how the elderly woman got to where she is today. She's able to
Okay.
understand her story a lot more. And by also going into her past, the trouble teen is able to help better her future.
Mm.
So that is pretty much the synopsis of it. And the entire film is basically a cinematic love letter to the victims of Alzheimer's and dementia and to the loved ones that walk beside them. So that is basically, yeah, the film. And then
Yeah.
yeah. And then I think, did you ask how did I
What
like how did the
inspired the
idea,
story?
what inspired it?
Hmm.
For me, I have family who deal with Alzheimer's and dementia. And I think seeing it and I always felt like um I wanted to be able to like know more about them before they got to that stage. And for me, I think there's this book on the power of storytelling and how much it can shape the human experience, the human minds, the human mindset, the future, and so I wanted to combine those two. I think
Hmm.
I've also seen a lot of films where maybe Alzheimer's or dementia is mentioned. Like there's little like aspects of it, but it's never been the forefront of
Hmm.
it. Um, and there's always someone else like speaking for that person. And so in this film, I wanted to find a way to, even though this woman has Alzheimer's, for her to be able to somehow share her own story.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's kind of how all of that came like together with the film and what inspired it. And so I did a lot of research with caregivers. And people who work in the medical field.
Right.
And also, there's like an essence there where someone's in the military. So I interviewed some people who were in the military because I wanted to make sure that I was presenting the most authentic experience with the
Right.
resources and time that I had. And so cross my fingers that I did a good job and I'm able to make the film very relatable
Yeah.
in for the people that are going through this. And yeah, and as authentic and as truthful as possible. So I would say there's some truth in it, in the essence of I am trying to combine people's experiences and making
Hmm.
that kind of relatable and highlighting that on screen.
Right, right. So, when it comes to researching, I do love that you mentioned that you did research. Tell people how important doing research when it comes to making a film is. Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Very important. It is very important because people like will catch you slipping. If you put something in there that is not true,
Right,
they're gonna be like,
right.
no, that don't happen. And so like you want to be like, or also too when it seems like it's fake or like too made up, or people kind of, it can lose people's interest, right? Because it can
Yeah,
make it seem like you're not telling the story how it is, and nobody
yeah.
wants to go through a tough difficult time and then they're seeing something similar portrayed on screen, and it's like that's not, you're not catching the raw emotion. Like they would not be just like brushing it off in this essence. Like some people really do feel this deeply. And so I think it's very important for your audience to be able to keep your audience attention.
Hmm.
And it's important as a filmmaker, if you're the type of filmmaker that wants to be authentic in telling your stories. Even the scene where we had one of our characters was dressed in a Air Force uniform, and
Mm.
just the decorations on the uniform,
Right.
getting those right,
Hmm.
making sure I'm not putting something on there that wouldn't work with the rank that this person is right now, and that just seems like it would take a long time to get too, and
Yeah.
he's only been in the Air Force so many years. Like, making sure this is how this would work. This is what he would wear at this event, and so all of
Details.
that. And for me, if you put that on screen, if I saw somebody in a military uniform, I would not think nothing of it. I'd be like, oh, they're in the military.
Hmm.
Like that's all you would get from me. But someone who is actually in the Air Force and like
Right.
has been in the Air Force for years sees that. And then they see like this is not right. No, it would not be like this. Immediately you lose their attention,
Right.
right? So I think I would say it's very important to create the most authentic type of story,
Right.
and keep your audience interested.
Awesome. That is very important. So when filming Faded Memories, can't talk.
You're good.
What was there an emotional part that just stood out to you that you always can remember from a behind the scenes moment or just, seeing it come to life on camera? What was that emotional part of making the film?
For me, I think the emotional part, honestly, there were so many aspects in the filmmaking. No, we shot this in 6 days, so it was a lot
Oh.
of we was like go 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 the entire
Mhm.
time. But I think ultimately seeing everybody in their medium um help bring the story to life through their own, eyes, through their own
Mhm.
vision, and like actually work to like they
Yeah.
showed up, and they, even, and when I'm running back and forth, from different like parts of the location, I see them in there like rehearsing lines, for example, or helping each other out,
I
trying
love that.
to make sure everybody's on the ball. And really like wanting to get the story right. And I
Mhm.
really that means so much as a director, and especially the and a writer
Mhm.
too, because it's like you put so much into it. We put so much, research into it, and we crafted it in a way to really appeal to audiences. So having people come along and also understand the importance of that, but elevate it
Yeah.
and put their own like spin on it, I think that is one of the emotional parts for me. And I'm talking about everybody from acting to lighting to cinematography to even like the PAs and even my second AC,
Mhm.
having her, like, even when she was coming into the set and she was doing Slate, like the just like the energy that she was
Yeah.
bringing to the set, and how focused she was, like all of that, because it also, when you see other people are focused and they're trying to get it right, everybody else, it just elevates it, like
Oh
everybody
yeah.
like kind of pings off the energy. So I absolutely love it. I love that. And I would say the moment that I saw that I feel like really was like, wow, like everybody wants this movie to be just as great as I do, was when we did a set, uh I'm blanking out on the term, but we went to the location to view it before shooting. And so it was me, my director of photography, and my lighting guy, my gaffer. And I kind of was like, okay, like I don't really know what you're looking for, but yeah, we can go to the location. I'll set it up. We go in there, and I'm just walking through like the scene, like, okay, they're gonna be over here, they're gonna move here, and then they're gonna say this, and we're gonna use this, and yada yada yada. And to see them, and then when I like stop giving the instructions, like to see them really go in to like,
Yeah.
oh, we put the light right here, and oh, this lighting is really, really great in this window, and the sunset's here, and then I'll put the camera here, and then we can hang some stuff up over here, and we can put the screen here, and like to see them like
Mhm.
their conversation was when I was like,
They're in their element.
they're in their element, and
Yeah.
they're loving it. You can see like passion, and that is so, because you cannot pay people to care. They can act like they care, and they can, front it for you, but you cannot pay people to actually care, to have the
Yeah.
care. So seeing them just care so much about this story and making sure they get stuff right. I mean, that was like the thing for me that just kind of blew my mind. So definitely shout out to my very, very amazing crew and my like talented cast.
Yes, thank you, crew. So, speaking of cast, what was the casting process like? Because I know that can be a little rough
Whew,
at times.
whew. Rough is an
Yeah.
understatement.
Yeah.
Oh no. Casting,
Woo.
man. But honestly, I would say every element in this film it was no easy feature to get, no easy feat to get us to the next step what we were trying to do. It was just always something. But
Mm-hmm.
with casting, that was rough because my last film that I casted, I got all types of people. I was like, oh, okay, here. Like I had so many people, and I was just like, okay, let me just pick. And this time around, I was like, oh, casting is gonna be easy. Like I'm gonna get all these like audition tapes and all these
Mm-hmm.
resumes and stuff, and headshots, and we're gonna be fine. It's the crew that was hard to get the last time because it was like
Mm.
we had to, everybody had to be in budget, and it was just a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but crew, I got crew really quickly for this one, and then casting took a minute. And it was just tough because I set myself in a situation where, okay, well, we have the elderly woman, and then we go into her past. So now we
Mm-hmm.
need a younger version of her.
Right.
Well, so now I have to find someone that like looks in resemblance of the each other in some way. And I didn't know, like, so if I locked in the elderly woman first, then I can only find people that have a resemblance to her.
Right.
If I locked in the younger version of her first, then I can only find an elderly woman that kind of like resembles like her. So that was super tough, super tricky, and it was already tough to try to find an elderly woman who would like come in
Right.
act, because I was like, well, where am I gonna find? Because normally, I work with like people who are like 20s, 30s, and like older, but yeah, but I've never worked with like a person who is more seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, yeah, where am I gonna find? I'm looking all over the place. I'm trying to think like, should I should go to like like black churches. Like, let me just go to different churches. Would bingo? Maybe the casino. Like, I'm trying to find them out here in the streets, right? And
Right.
I was like, somebody's grandma. Can I just please borrow your grandma? And can she
Right.
just
Come on,
exactly
grandma.
just sit here and she don't gotta have no lines. I just need somebody. Um, and then I ended up locking an elderly woman first.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I did that was it was like I think I had tried and I was kind of at a loss as to how I was gonna get an older person
Mm-hmm.
to play this part. And the day that I came back home and I was just like, I feel like we're just gonna have to call it because I don't feel like I'm going to get someone like where am I gonna find someone who's of color, and who is gonna work for a lower budget on an indie film, like, and who is of a certain age. Like, where am I about to find this? And so the casting director that had reached out to me initially about someone else, I'd asked her earlier, like, if she had somebody in her database with like the description, the age
Right.
descriptions, and she was like, okay, I'll look. But I was like, okay, well, I didn't think anything of it. I don't think we're gonna get anybody. And only just because I was like, I don't think there's anybody like out here that is going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the day I came back home and I was just like, we're probably gonna have to call it. She emailed me, the casting director. She was like, I have some prospects. And
Awesome.
yeah, I was like, what? And I looked at the people that she gave me. This is my first time working with a casting director too. So that was another thing.
Okay.
Because also I was on a lower budget. So I was like, I don't have thousands of dollars to pay an actor, right?
Yeah.
So that was another thing I was struggling with. But she gave me the prospects, and then we did the auditions and stuff, and so I ended up And then when we and I sent the I had to like write up a script real quick because the other one didn't have any lines because I was like I'm gonna borrow somebody's grandma and they're just gonna sit
You gonna
here.
sit there, baby.
Right. And I just don't, you don't gotta say nothing, just show up. And so I ended up writing up a script real quick, like for sides, sent it over to them. They both did a phenomenal job. And the lady I ended up going with phenomenal, amazing. And when we were in, like, when I seen her audition and we were in rehearsals and everything like that, table reads, like there was one line in there. And the way she did that one line was so mind blowing
That's the
that I was like, now I really understand the term that there are no small parts. There are only small actors. Cause she took that one line and I mean we were like, whoa. And
hmm
so she just said that I had to write more lines in there for her. But yeah, so got her, and then I had to find the younger version. So I was like, okay, it should be easier to find more of a like someone in their 20s, 30s,
hmm
or whatever to play this because they're all, people they're on social media a lot. Like they're in
Right.
the group, like, it's easier to find somebody. And I mean, we were down to the wire before I could find like someone that would match her
hmm
like from just in all types of different ways. And so I think it was the last audition. No, I think it was she was the last one. I think I had a couple after her, but um anyway, I seen her tape. Her tape came in. She had saw a post that I put on Facebook. Tape came in, and I was like, "Yep, this is her." Like,
Oh.
like this, everything works. We could sell. This is believable. We could sell
hmm
this. Um, and so that's how I found her. And then everybody else, it was kind of a struggle to like trying to find someone of color because now I gotta find the mom. The mom
Yeah.
gotta it gotta make sense. So there was that. Everybody was connected, and I think that's how I kind of set myself up. Um, and so yeah, it was just it was tough, but there was sometimes I was like, oh, we're gonna have to call it. And every time I said that,
It came
somebody's
through.
audition tape would come through, and
hmm
I was like, whoo, and that's that person. And not just because it was that only person, but I'm saying like they were actually fit for the role. So
Yeah. Nice. When it comes so I've been an extra a couple of times. Um when it comes to auditioning and sitting in tapes and when you have a casting director like in or you have a casting if you don't have a casting director, like what is some pointers could you give to the listeners so that may be interested in being an extra or being in a feature in the future? What's something that you could tell them to do or that they should, how they should look or, how to film or whatever. What would be your advice?
for better like self tapes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, definitely having a clean background
Mm-hmm.
is helpful. Because one thing I will say, like when you're looking at a tape, is soon you will notice like someone who has like the background is clean, the camera looks good,
Mm-hmm.
the lighting, the sound, like you kind of notice all of those aspects. And like although those don't really gonna make or break it. It's really about the performance itself. Um, it helps, right? Like it makes
Mm-hmm.
you when the tape pops up and you already see it, you're kind of like, oh, you're like, our attention, you got my attention. So I think that's helpful. Like, yeah, and I know like some people they'll do either like a blue, like a light blue background, or
Mm-hmm.
like a gray background, or I don't know about white. I think I've seen some that are white, but I think mostly what I've understood is it's like light blue and maybe gray.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that lighting is very important
Yes.
because if the director or the casting director can't like really see or you're kind of like blurry or something like that, then um, it's just gonna be harder to if they have hundreds of tapes, people, it's just gonna be a little harder to see the performance.
Right.
So I would say that helps. But also like coming in and really just embodying the character the way you see it and giving like the best performance that you can, honestly. And don't hold back. Don't be like, oh, I'm just gonna, like give it the emotion. Like if you were on set, you were in the film, how would you do this? And like be as dramatic. You can go over the top. And I think some people are indifferent about props. Some people like
Mm-hmm.
props, some people don't like props. Some
Right.
people want some props, not too many. But I think for me, even dressing the part helps
Oh
me
yeah.
like kind of envision you in that like character.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had some people where maybe I didn't see them at I wouldn't have seen them in that character role, but then they came in fully dressed up with stuff, and I was like, oh, you're kind of looking at your character. So I
Mm-hmm.
think those definitely help. Um, and then also I would say a good thing is like if you could send your tape as early as possible, that is helpful. Because if you send it like if on the last day, sometimes they've already seen some tapes and they're like, oh, I like this person already. So now you're sending, so they're just watching it because
Yeah.
they just want to see what else out there. But they already kind of got their
Mm-hmm.
mindset on someone else. So
Right.
you're like basically performing against that person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if that's the case. So and now they have to kind of like unglue their mind and be like, oh, maybe we could maybe they have it, but I don't know because we really like that
Yeah.
how this girl did that. So
It's a battle.
yeah, it's a battle. So I would say just yeah, I would say overall just go and do it like to the best of your abilities. You could be over the top if you want. If that's what the thing calls for, be
Mm-hmm.
over the top. Really try to just embody it the way you see it and then send it as early as possible.
Yeah. When it came to your characters and casting, how in depth did you go? When it came to like, does this person have curly hair or do they have short hair? Do they need to have wrinkles or no tattoos? Like, how do you say, okay, I can see this person in my head and now I'm looking at you in person and this is who I want to pick. Like, because I'm always stuck on like when I watch a movie, I'm always like, how did they pick this person? Like, because it's so many actors and actresses out here. Like, why them? Like I always want to know, like, what exactly had that little light bulb go off when it came to picking the person.
Yeah, for me, like when I see them, and because I'm the writer and the director, I already
Hmm.
know, like I've already envisioned it and I know what it is. I know what it was when I wrote it, and like I know, like I kind of just I know a little bit more about how like what the character is to be. Is when I see the tapes and the performances, I know right away. Like when I like as soon as they like do the performance and this goes back to like I'm looking at their performances
Hmm.
and like for me the gray background and stuff like all of that, yes, that is nice. It does add something to it. And if you're sending it especially to something that's getting a lot of like tapes
Hmm.
and they're Netflix and all this stuff, yeah, you want to do that sometimes with indie, you want to do that, but if you don't necessarily, it's not necessarily a make or break. It's we're really looking at the performances themselves. And when I see the performance, I know right away. I'll be like,
Yeah.
yes, this person can do exactly what needs to get done. Or I'll be like, maybe this person may be a great fit, maybe not for this character, or they may be a great fit, but maybe just not at this moment in time
Hmm.
for what we have going on. Not saying they're not great actors, it's just like for this film, it may not be
Yeah.
the best fit. But Yeah, I know through their performance. Like I see it when I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, they
Gotcha.
got it. They can do what we need to get done. So that's how
Cool.
I know. If I sometimes it's been times where I'm choosing between people.
Right.
And then when I do that, I just kind of look at, I guess like what they like little nuancy things or like how they approach the script. And do I want, because maybe how they approach it I like that way, and then they can do that for the rest of the scene, or maybe they have little like features that I feel like it would be better for the character.
Right.
uh and features as in like maybe the way they like move their head, like little mannerism type
Hmm.
things. So I try to just kind of narrow it down to that aspect. And then if I really can't decide, I will do a callback. Like, can you read this other scene and let me see how you do? And I do like a juxtaposition type scene. So
Yeah.
one can be really emotional because I want to see how you are in an emotional aspect, and
Hmm.
then one could be just like your regular what you'll probably be doing for the throughout the duration of the film.
Yeah.
Uh, that's how I kind of decide.
Okay. When it comes to being an indie filmmaker, what about location? Like, um, for the actors or actresses, like, do you prefer if they're around you, so that you don't have to necessarily pay for hotel situations? Because the times that I was an extra, there were people from different states coming in, and it's a like it may be a non-paid situation, and I'm like, y'all really want to be in this movie? And you don't even know if it's gonna like go on the big screen or anything yet. But dedication for sure.
Yeah. No, I think like sometimes I be asking myself that. I be like, um, wow, you guys really like, want to be my, like, we don't even, what I'm saying? We're working on distribution deals, but we don't have anything solid yet, at this moment. And I'm like, I appreciate that y'all are like coming here riding with me for real. Um, but yeah, people just like want to get the experience. They want stuff for their real. They want to work. They want to try
Right.
stuff out. Like, and so that's what I've learned. They just want the experience, and that's what I've learned about a lot of people. And I think it's cool that where they're able to get it, right? And so that when they do get to something like Netflix, Hulu, Stars, whatever the case is,
Mm-hmm.
they have had the experience in the background for them to like be like, okay, you're not just like a straight new type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but wait, ask me the question again. Sorry.
I was asking about the location.
Oh,
Like
location.
mhm.
Yeah.
Like if you would rather have people that are like near your location, or, is it solely just up to that person if they're traveling, you know?
I Yeah, I rather have somebody that's near me. Absolutely
Yeah.
100% near me. There was one girl who sent an audition tape. She was great too, and I was thinking about like I was like, okay, like selecting her, and then she we found out she was like in a different state and she was gonna fly in, and I was like, no. Like, you're not gonna, because there's no way. Why? No. This is a low budget film. Now,
Mm,
I could see if we were Netflix original or something like that, and it was a higher budget and we could pay for some of your transportation, but no. So that was a no. I want them around me, and I also try to make them central because everybody's all over the state, and so I try to make it central so people are not driving hours and hours and hours
right.
um, to do something. They're not driving out of state, from like the next state over to do something. Um, so yes, I want them around me. And then I would say like a funny story, quick story was to the way the film even kicked off was by location. I needed a house that could portray these like older type of like 1960s scenes that we were
Hmm.
gonna make. So I couldn't have like no modern updated granite and then the island and all that stuff. I couldn't have that. And I looked through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of houses and I found one. And then I went to go visit it and it was like they didn't have parking.
Mm.
and I think there was a dog that lived, there was somebody that lived downstairs, and there was a dog, and I said, oh my gosh, that would be a complete nightmare for sound.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so I ended up getting a Starbucks commercial, and they were shooting at this house. And so I went to the house, and as I'm sitting there, as they're getting stuff together, I'm looking around. I'm like,
This is the house.
this could work, like this maybe this could work. And I went and I tried to, so they told me where they were able to rent the house from. It was on one of the sites. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went to the site. I never go, it's on Peerspace. I never go to Peerspace because I know it's super expensive. Like
Yeah.
it'd be like 150 an hour. We're
Yeah.
trying to shoot for 3 days straight. Like we need, like, no, we're not gonna do that.
Terrible.
I contacted the owner because I had saw Ava DuVernay. I saw a video of her, and she was talking about how she was shooting when she was shooting Origin. She wanted to shoot in this like space that
Mm-hmm.
was sacred, and she wanted to put like a bunch of extras in there. She wanted to burn books. It was like a whole bunch of things she wanted to do in this sacred ground.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "There's no way we're gonna get this space, but we're gonna go ask anyway." And so she said she went up there, asked, and they ended up giving her the space. And so I was like, "Let me try that." So I talked to the lady who owned the house, and I said, "Look, I need it for these many days." She had some of the days blocked off that I needed for too, and I was like, "I need these for these days. I need it for this length of time. This is what I got." Like, and that's it. And she emailed me back quickly. And I was like, oh, she didn't have to say no that quickly. She didn't have to say that. And so I just
Wait a
didn't look
minute.
at it because I'd be like, just not one of the, I'm the type of person I just don't want to even be bothered with no more. And someone just told me, I said, let me just look and like, let me solidify it that is over. And that's it. Cause I was like, cause at this point, we were like, I was about to call it. Like, we don't have the house to even do any of the past scenes. So what are we even doing? And I looked at her email and she said yes. She said, yeah, we'll make it work. And
Okay.
that's how it kicked off was I got her, she let me like film at her house, and then everything else. I had the other location already, so it was just like
Mm-hmm.
it just went from there.
Faded memory is gonna have a bunch of memories.
It's gonna have a bunch of memories. Yes. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. That's it right there.
So, how do you prepare yourself mentally before you direct a film, or actually this film? Like, how did you prepare yourself?
I
Because
tried to
all of this other stuff was going on. So,
Yes. No, I tried to be as prepared as possible. I tried to get be as organized as possible. I had all the props in the buckets, like they're all the
hmm,
props from the 60s in the bucket, 70s in the bucket, 80s in the bucket, like all the props from the
organization.
modern day. I had schedules lined out, like this is what we're doing on this day. I already had the templates for the call sheets.
Hmm.
Um, I, made sure my phone was on loud, like every time, like if somebody needed to, and my phone would be playing in my face sometimes. People will call me and it's like it won't ring. And then like I'll look at it later, 10 minutes go by and it'll a missed call. And I'm like, it's from a person that is trying to get information from me. Like it's so stressful. But I definitely I had my phone on loud, and I was like if y'all need something, let me know. I didn't have like an AD in the beginning of it. So
Okay.
it was just me, like I was a point of contact. So if there's questions, let me know, text me, whatever the case is, I'm 24/7. I'm here, and because I want to make sure that everybody knows what they gotta do. Like they know
Right.
where they need to be, they know what time they need to be there, they know what they need to bring. Like, and I wanted to make sure everybody was aware. And then I put them all in group chats. So, and then they all knew who was working what day. So you can also contact each other if you
Hmm.
don't know what's going on or something like that too. Um, but yeah, I think for me it was just trying to be as prepared as possible.
Right.
And then when I went in, I'm talking about if y'all wasn't talking about the film, I couldn't even have a conversation with you. I don't even know what you're saying to me right now because it is my sole focus. Like I
Right.
am 100%. It's just nothing else you're saying is gonna matter because it's
Don't
like we
ask
got
me
6
nothing.
days and we gotta shoot all of these like scenes. Like I gotta make sure everybody is on. Like I was like, y'all. And then this was my first time working with lighting, like how we worked with it. And the guy,
Uh-uh.
my gaffer did an amazing job. But he was like building stuff and putting stuff up, and I understand the importance of grips now, having
Oh,
grips
oh yeah.
keep the everything along. And like for those who don't know, grips are the people who like help the gaffer like set up lighting. So the more people you
Hmm.
have helping, the quicker you can get stuff up. Um and I was like, look, we're on a low budget. So we're gonna have to everybody gonna have to pitch in.
Right.
So yeah, and lighting took a good chunk of our time
Hmm.
the first day. And I was like, oh no. Like we got I'm talking about we had 2.5 days to shoot all the scenes in the 60s, all the scenes in the 70s,
Ooh,
and all the
stress.
scenes in the 80s. Like we're three eras. And we got 2.5 days to shoot all of this. And I was like, oh no.
Uh-uh.
So I was like super just focused and my producer hat that will take over any other hat you got. Like, so even though
Oh
I'm
yeah.
directing and acting, producer wise, if I know we got to get out of here at this time, like I'm like, y'all,
Strict.
let's get it together for real. And then, but they're really great, really patient. They're very efficient too. But I see what happens in the beginning is like everybody comes in and we got breakfast. Everybody's hey, how's everybody going? They're setting up, looking at all the ways we could do stuff, and
Hmm.
talking. Everybody's having a great time. And then toward the end of the day, we get to like 5, 6 o'clock. Everybody is like. They're getting like how many scenes we got left? Like
Yeah.
how long are we here? Like now they're getting a little antsy,
Right.
and I'm like, yeah. So I be trying
Yeah.
to reason them like no, no, we're not going. Let's go, because at the end of the day, y'all gonna be ready to go. But no, they were great though. So, but
Yeah.
for me to prepare, basically, I'm just trying to get everything organized, and then we just first day we just going in, and we just keep going until the next to the last day of shooting.
Yeah. How long were your days? Like each day, like how long were did you guys have to film?
I would say anywhere between like I want to say maybe 10
Hmm.
to 13 hours.
Ooh.
I would say that because there's some places we only had for like a certain amount of time, so we had to get out at a
Oh
certain
yeah,
amount.
yeah. Hmm.
Um, but I think we had like the house where we did all the past scenes. I think we had that like 14 hours or 15 hours a day.
Okay.
Um, So the crew was there from sun up to sundown. Like they were there for the whole time. And then the cast, they would come in as their scenes required, like as their scenes required it. So I don't know. They may tell you, they may be like, we was there forever. But
Mm.
I think like for me, I'm trying to think like how when their call times were. And I don't think they were there for like from sun up to sundown because we would get there first to set
Of
up
course.
and we'd be there kind of toward the end. So I'd say they probably had like maybe 10, 13, maybe
Hmm.
10, 12 hour days.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, doing the waiting period of having the call times can be very a headache, especially if you're just waiting around and you really don't have anything else to do, but you have to stay. It's like, well, I already did mine, so can I leave?
Yep, yep.
But
Yes. As an actor, it's like a hurry up and wait, and it's so like, ugh,
yeah,
okay.
it's dragging.
As a director, I'm like, I need y'all to just bear with me, okay? We got snacks. And you know what I'm saying? Like we'll give you some snacks. I mean, if you gotta leave, come back, you can do that. Like, but just bear because we had a plan going in where it was like we were shooting this scene, we were doing it by scenes.
Yeah.
But the lighting, like the way that the lighting was set up is like if I'm here and I'm talking to someone, if the lighting is on me, it would
Hmm.
take so much time to switch the lighting to be on that person, the
Right.
other person that I'm talking to. So we have to keep the lighting this way, and we have to just shoot all the scenes this way. But like that was also like so the scenes in the 60s, the scenes in the 70s, the scenes in the 80s, we had to shoot all this way before we could
Yeah.
switch lighting.
Yeah.
So it was like it
Strategic.
you know what I'm saying? And through it, so the people that were supposed to be able to leave at a certain time, no, we need you stay because we need you in the 80s scene too. So you got to be here and you got to change. And
Hmm.
so that was kind of how we got mixed up with people kind of waiting some for a little bit of time. But I yes, that hurry up and wait thing, it's like ugh,
Yes. It's
I'm
kind
trying to
of
go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it
right.
is.
I want some need in my bed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm coming in my bed.
In
Nah,
my bed.
yeah.
So, what makes faded memories stand out from your past work? Since you've gotten to this point, you know, you said that Rent a Friend is like one of your first projects, and so you have things that's in between. Like, but are you most proud of this one, or is it also something else that you just like, nah, that's the one, but you know, this one is new. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna say the cliche answer, which is I'm most proud of the next one. But but Faded Memories, what makes it different is every time I do a film, I try to do something different. I want to do
mhm,
something different. I want to level it up. I want to do something I haven't done before. Like my first feature, we had like guns and we had fighting, and so
mm,
I was so excited about those things. I was like, oh, we're gonna add some things to it, and we get to like kind of go off in this little area, like do this thing, and I had never. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm trying to figure out the rules on what to do to work with guns.
yeah,
But
yeah,
also they were like fake guns. They weren't like, you know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
were like they weren't real guns, but like I'm trying to figure out the rules. I'm always trying to make sure I'm going by the rules of things. Um and like with this one, I think it being partly a period piece
mm,
was one of the things that I feel like was really cool and like helped me step up and level up in a different way with this film because with a period piece, now it's not just everything can be modern day. Like
right,
I'm having to research what kind of phones that they have this year. Like
hmm,
maybe in 1965 they had this phone, but then somewhere between like 1965, like late 1965, mid 1966, they changed to this phone. So
yeah,
would these people have this phone in their house, or would they have the other phone? Like
hmm,
finance wise, how are they financed? Because this is probably an expensive phone, so like understanding that, the clothes, the hair, the way they talk, all
hmm,
of those things, and then having to do it for each era, like, and then also having to do it in the character is aging,
yeah,
so like as we go through each year, so I think that was something that really helped me. I feel like make the film stand out amongst my other films.
hmm,
And then also having a film where I have someone in the past like connect and then I have their present, making sure that they kind of connect in a way. Like this person in the present isn't, you know what I'm saying? Doing all this extra stuff and like, so like personality all over here. And then the person in the past, his personality is very more like conservative, very more like closed in. So trying
hmm,
to make sure that they align, even
right,
though the way we shot this was we shot all the past scenes first and we shot all the present scenes second. And they and like in like all the past scenes were 1 week. It was 3 days, 1 week, and then the next week we shot for the next 3 days. For 3 days we shot the present. So the people in the present didn't meet the people in the past and vice versa. So now I'm trying to make sure that they have something that's connecting them and that they align in some sort of mannerism type of
hmm,
way without them ever even seeing each other or meeting each other
wow,
because like in rehearsals the schedule didn't match up so they couldn't do it in rehearsal. um so I think that like helped me. Those are some of the elements that I did to level up. And so for the next film, I like another element, like I haven't done this before, so let me try this. Also,
Hmm.
this film, what I thought was really interesting is all my previous films are pretty much like male heavy. Like I tend
Okay.
to have a male, except for your friend, that was female. That female was the center of the character. Um, but most of the films that I have done have been like male centered. So this was my first time working with like a predominantly female cast,
Okay.
and I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because with guys, with them, they just whatever. Hey, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
they're a little easy.
That easy. They're like, okay. I'm like, I need you to switch clothes. They just drop their pants right there, and they just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't
Yep.
care, don't
Shirt,
sweat,
everything.
nothing. Yeah, they're just like chill. Even with when I brought out the guns, I was like, okay. Now I just want to let everybody know these are not real, and like this, and then they just pick them up. Oh, I have one of these at home. Like, yeah, these little toy gun. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Click, 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 click. They do all this extra stuff with it, and I was like, oh, okay. So you're good then. You're good on
Yep.
that. And like with females, because we were shooting at like houses and
Uh-huh.
stuff. I think the biggest thing for me with them was like being as transparent as possible, making sure that
Right.
they met me and like we would have like calls and they understood like who they were working with. Um and I feel like making sure like we did rehearsals in like not like in the lounge in my apartment, right? But like somewhere that's a central location with, like parking and that it's like open and like safe. I think
Hmm.
that was a big thing for me, just making sure that everybody felt safe and how they like in working on these sets and that because I think with the film industry, it could be kind of like they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna shoot at this house, and you like I don't know what to expect at the
Right.
house. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Yeah, but also like yeah, just and I would send them pictures like in the group chat. Okay, this is what the house looks like. This
I
is the
love
inside,
that.
outside is where you're gonna be working with, working, in and trying to make sure that there was like a closed area for them to change if we didn't have a bathroom close to where we were and they had to like change somewhere, like make sure it was closed and like in like private. And
Hmm.
so I think the biggest thing for me for this one was like making sure that everybody felt safe and like respected and being as
Right.
transparent as possible.
I love that. I love your organization and I love how personal you are because you don't get that a lot. S-
Yeah.
Some sometimes you barely can even reach the director. So,
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. And then I love that you're fun to talk to. You seem like you would make somebody want to be a part of the film. And I think that I noticed that you mentioned a lot of the time um that the cast were cool, they wanted to pitch in and everything. And I believe you have something to do with that because you seem so inviting and warm. So I think that plays a big part on how people can perform because it's just like any other job. Like if you are mean to me and I got to go to work every day for you and I'm gonna hate coming to work all the time. But
Mhm.
if I'm treated fairly and the pay is fine, and sometimes it don't even be about the pay. It's about the environment,
Yeah.
and how that makes you feel. Because at the end of the day, you're human and you make mistakes and you don't want to be shut down for every little thing. And then also you gotta go home to your family or sometimes your dog, your cat, your little your
Yeah.
little mouse.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
wanna
Your
you
fish. Yeah.
yeah, you still wanna
Yeah.
be the best person that you can be at the end of the day because those hours are very long when you're filming. And yeah, so I think that, it's a great thing that to have a director like you. So I love that you shared those things with us for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So I have another question. I ain't gonna hold you too much long because we've been talking a long time.
No, you're
this
good. I'm
this
like,
actually
so
probably
I'm
the
like, okay,
longest.
what's that? I love, let me tell you something. I've edited this film since last May, and I be trying to tell my friends and like my cousins stuff about my film, and they just be like, okay, Cassandra, like, we're trying, we gotta go, okay? We trying to watch something on TV, we trying to look at our TikToks. They're like, okay, great. So I love being able to share like about the film.
Yeah. And listen, I know we are friends on Instagram and we're in the same group on Facebook, but anytime you want to chit chat with me about a film or something you done, I'll be like, baby girl, what we talking about?
Bet, okay,
Okay. This
yeah,
ain't
okay, bet.
this ain't no one time thing situation for me. Cause like I said, you are where I want to be one day. And so I look up to that. And I love being able to learn from other people's experiences. And I love seeing people win, especially women. And I think that's beautiful. You may be an indie filmmaker right now, but you climbing the
I
ladder.
I appreciate
So
I appreciate it. I'm trying, and we'll see.
you're doing a great job. And because you saying that you're a writer and the producer and you're editing and all these things, that's a lot on you, right? And so to be able to even accomplish that and feel good about it and put it out and say that it was successful, whether anybody else says not successful or not, like you did all of that. So that's a success within itself.
I appreciate you talking to my parents. I appreciate they always be doing that. I mean, my mom is like they're always like, hey, Cassandra, like literally you have a movie on Tubi already. Like you are making films. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yes, but I'm trying to get this done. You know what I'm saying? Like this needs to get done. And
But
and
this.
they just be like, oh, okay, whatever.
We can put Cassandra, but this.
Yeah,
Price.
yeah.
That's okay. So, two more questions and then we can be done. What message do you hope that's to stick with your viewers after they've watched Faded Memories? Actually, I got
Yeah.
three.
Um, I hope like they just give more grace.
Yeah.
Um, and also I hope that they see that they are seen.
Mm,
Like especially the people that are like taking care of loved
right.
ones who have Alzheimer's or dementia. Like
Hmm.
I want them to feel like, by watching this they feel seen. Like they that someone sees their story and that the pain and the frustration and the sadness and all that stuff that comes with it. And as you watch someone that you've known forever start to just like, forget who they are, forget, you
Hmm.
know, like the moments that they cherish and enjoy the who you are, like as they just kind of slowly like kind of decline in front of your eyes, and you really, even though you know it and
Yeah.
you probably read all the books and you probably like got all the information, went all the articles and talked to all the doctors, it's like you're not ever really prepared
Yeah.
for like what happens like the next, because they could be know who you are one day and having a
But
conversation with you
this.
next day, you wake up and they have no idea who you are. And I
Hmm.
think like to see that is very disheartening, and that's goes back to I'm hoping I make sure like I'm hoping that I was able to portray that authentically on screen.
Hmm.
um but yeah, I just hope they feel like, oh, someone sees my story. um I feel like, and they feel seen and heard, and I also hope that the people who are not going through that have a little bit more grace,
Yeah.
um, for the people that do have Alzheimer's and dementia, right? Because a lot of times you can get frustrated. It can get frustrating because it can be a lot. Like, especially when you're trying to get some, nobody wants to be told what to do.
Right.
Nobody wants to feel like you're controlling them,
Mm.
especially when they're older. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it can be rough, but they're also going through some through things,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know, like it's everybody's first time. They don't know what's going on. They're probably nervous and scared themselves because they're trying to figure out what's going on, and
Right.
so just giving them grace, and also giving the caregivers grace too, because sometimes it can be frustrating.
Oh
You
yeah.
are watching someone you love like deteriorate in front of you, and you're going through a bunch of other stuff. It's just like it can be frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, yeah, I want them to give them grace and see and feel heard.
Yeah, I love that. And I've experienced those things. And I've seen where people can be so excited to see you and one minute like you said they're fine and then the next minute they're moving from
Yeah,
you
like
and swatting at you and or
yeah,
cursing you out
and
and
you're like, hold on, wait
you
a
may
minute,
not even heard them curse before. You're like, what?
you're like,
Calling you
excuse
people's
me.
names that you don't know. Like it can be a wild experience when you
Yeah.
have to go through that. And it can break your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may just love that person so much and all you just want them to remember who you are. But at that moment, they don't see you as who you are
They
anymore.
don't. Yeah.
It's
They.
like they only see what they can see and you have to accept that. And it's hard. And I suggest that people that have to go through that too, that, I mean, it's a counselor for that as well, because you don't understand everything. And when you don't, it's frustrating and you get mad and you have nobody to talk to because they never experienced it. So, and then you can't talk to the person that's going through it,
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
they don't know
Exactly.
what they're
Yeah.
doing to you.
Yeah.
And so, I would advise people to, research those things as well. I mean, even if you don't have someone in your life with it at the moment, you keep living, you may get it, or somebody in your family may get it, but it's a common thing, and people should know what to do, what to expect, and how to. You can't really prepare because it's a out of the blue situation, but
It's
at
out of
least you
the.
can have the pinpoints to be like, I wonder if this is what's happening, if you're
Yeah.
educated on it early enough. Because that's a lot of people's thing. They're not educated on what the symptoms are. And so they're just clueless of what's going on and then wait too late until like you can't really do anything else
You
about
can't
it.
do anything. Yeah. Yeah. It's man, and for it to, for you to know that there is no, you can't even go and be like, okay, well, like how much is all the treatment gonna cost? Like we know we
Mm-mm.
can get it, we can fix it, how much is the treatment gonna cost? But the fact that as soon as you figure out that that's what's going on, it's like
It's too late.
it's too late. And like there's nothing you can it's gonna just keep unraveling. There's nothing you can do to stop it. There are things that you can do to slow it, but it's like nothing you can do to
Hmm.
stop. There's nothing you can do to reverse. Um and there's like nothing all you really can do is just sit there and just kind of like wait. And each day is something, it can be something different. And so
Hmm.
it's a tough one. It's a
Yeah,
tough one.
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, we've been talking about this for a while, but when does it come out?
I know. Okay. So yeah, that is that okay, so right now with the film itself, I'm wrapping up post.
Hmm.
Uh I'm wrapping up post, and like ultimately, cross my fingers, I'm wrapping up the sound, like finalizing the sound mix and everything this weekend.
Hmm.
And then it will just go through color. But I'm sending it through the film festival circuit. So that's like the
Awesome.
plan. And so 2026 film festival. So I started applying to film festivals for the spring that are going to be in
Okay.
the spring, and then when spring comes, I'll apply to the ones in the fall. And then my goal is to have it out on streaming by like late November. of 2026. So it's gonna be a little
Okay.
minute just because of the festival.
Oh yeah.
But I am my goal is to have it on streaming, and the platform I am looking to is
Hmm.
Amazon Prime
Yeah.
because they do support indie films. They have a bunch of different like ways to get your film to Amazon Prime. I think probably the most efficient way could be a distributor.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that would probably be the most efficient way. I know they have film aggregators and stuff like that, which are like um they act like distributors. You basically can upload your film and they'll send it out as well.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. My last film, I worked with two really great distributors, Homestead Entertainment, Dame Dash Studios, and that was the first time I got a film like on streaming network. Like you can go on Roku and you can click the app on Tubi, and it'll pop up. And I was like, oh snap, we're doing things. Like I was so like excited about that. I was like,
Yeah.
we're doing something like I cannot believe I would film like I got one of them little rectangle like
Oh.
posters on the thing like that was super great and I was super excited. Oh my gosh, this is also what made me excited like for the cast and the crew
Hmm.
because at first when I started making films I was like okay I'm just trying to make this film because I want to make this film and I just need you like the actors to come in and do the stuff so that I can make the film and
Yeah.
then like that's gonna be part of my portfolio and stuff and then it's my film
Hmm.
basically. But then I started to see like the actors on set and all the things they were doing, and I was like, whoa, like this is not like just my thing, and I'm just getting people to do it. It's like our thing.
Yeah. It's a team
We're doing
effort.
this. Yeah. And when I put it on streaming, I was like, okay, great. Like this is something I can do to, okay, we're starting to get a little more credibility here. But when I told the cast and how excited they were, I was like, oh, this is okay, like so this is not just like a me thing, this is like everybody thing. And so now like moving forward, I think when I move into like getting stuff on platforms, I really like my goal is to be able to showcase the actors' work and the work of the crew more so than
Hmm.
this is my film
Yeah.
on this platform because I think like being able to do that, I feel like it's much more fulfilling than just saying like, oh, this is my film, I'm gonna put it on this, streaming
Hmm.
platform.
Awesome. So, what is your advice for someone out here that wants to start their own production company? Like, what's one advice you can give them?
Hmm. If I used to start your own production company, you know, I would say I feel like it's a little cliche, like Nike, like Nike sponsored type stuff, but honestly, it's like you really gotta like just do it.
Hmm.
But when I tell you, I never, when I was younger and I saw that, I was like, well, I feel like that's a little harsh because, sometimes there are things that does not allow you to just do it. Like,
Hmm.
it could be this or that or whatever. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I get it. Like, you literally just have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
you just gotta go out there and like do it because it will never be a perfect time.
Mm-mm.
It will never be like, everything's just right or and like you could be swamped and in school or working with your kid or take care, but honestly, even if you just do the smallest thing for it, like
Right.
a small step for it,
Hmm.
um, all of that counts. And also with the production company, I would say understand like write your plan and your thoughts down on paper. Like have like put it out on paper of what you want out of it. Like do you want to be the one directing film or you just want to have a production company and you put film like what is like your why? Like your
Hmm.
why and where you're trying to go. I think understanding those things are really helpful. And then just start like getting if you don't know where to start, just start looking at like YouTube videos, start looking at like social media videos, people just doing cinematography, just like maybe reading books, like Save the Cat is a really great one.
Mm.
Um just start trying to collect as much information as possible. And as you do it, things will start catching up. They'll start like you'll read this book and then an idea will pop up. And so now everything is like sparking, like your
Mm-hmm.
creativity is sparking.
Right.
And as long as you keep feeding it, it keeps like you keep, having things to create. And so I would say, yeah, like if you don't know where to start, just videos, YouTube, social media, all that stuff, and then just start like today. Like today is a great
Do
day
it
to just
now.
even start looking at video. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like yeah, like don't and also don't count yourself out
Mm. Yeah.
because I think people think production company is like this huge, huge, huge thing, and you have to have all these people and you have to know everything, and you have to have all the pieces and
Gotta
stuff,
grow.
and you do not have to have any of those things to
Mm.
have a production company. You just have to have the desire, um, and the commitment. I say, Denzel said this, and this is kind of like a motto I live by, which is without commitment, you will never start, and without consistency, you will never finish.
Mm.
Um, and I truly believe that to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be committed
Right.
with what you're doing. Like, it's gonna get hard. It's gonna get
Definitely.
hard, but you have to stay consistent in it, and that's the only way you'll see results.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put it down for a minute if you want to, but pick it back up. Like
Yeah.
don't just throw it away and say this is not it. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Awesome. I love that. Well, you guys, I've had an amazing conversation with Cassandra, okay, with KP Productions, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation. And I want her to say one last thing, and that is to where we can find her at. Because, first of all, we got to wait on this movie to come out, and we want to definitely make sure we support her along the way as well. So, uh, yeah, let us know where we can find you at.
Yeah, I appreciate see, and then this is I was gonna just not even say anything too. Like I gotta be so much better at like branding. But yes, to follow the film and the film's journey and like all the stuff that I have in store for like, the film and marketing and all those things, please follow me on my Instagram, and it's at KP underscore productions with the S at the end, underscore underscores.
Well, all right, I'm gonna put her links in the description so you guys can have an easy click to find her. And I look forward to seeing Faded Memories next year. All right, thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Thank you.